Okay, so this is a video tutorial on how to set up a file to use our fiber laser etcher. And so you'll find some of the instructions and the resources here on our Lab 8 metalworking assignment on Canvas. And we're going to be in part 2 metal etching. And so the first thing that we need to do is we need to find a file that is going to be appropriate for etching onto a metal card. And so for that, I like to use Vecteezy. It's a good source for being able to get a lot of really good graphics. And so we're going to be looking for a PNG. So I'm going to kind of go from vectors over to PNG. And I'm going to look for a unicorn. Now, I do want to sort by license type. I do want just free licenses, so I don't have to pay for anything. And I need to find a fun unicorn that I think is going to be good to use for my design. So I like this one right here. So I'm going to click on this, click on free download, and then wait for a moment for it to actually start the download. All right, and I see that it's been downloaded. Now, as I look at this, I need to kind of decide, is this wider or is it taller? Because that's going to kind of result in whether or not I do a card that's portrait style, so it's taller than it is wide, or landscape style, where it's wider than it is tall. My unicorn here looks pretty tall, and so for me, I'm going to come back to the Canvas page, and I'm going to download the tall template for my graphic. So I can click download right here, and that's going to download this file to my computer. I'm then going to go to Inkscape, and I'm going to go open up that file that I just downloaded. So if I come over here to my downloads, I can see that I have it here, and I can open it up. And you can see here's kind of this tall formatted card right here. What I'm going to do next, I'm going to go to File and Import, and I want to go find that fun unicorn character that I just downloaded, and I can click Import here, and these default settings are just okay. But what you can see is, oh my goodness, it is a large unicorn. And so I want to resize it to kind of fit in my card. But I have to be careful. If I kind of, resize it the wrong way, it's going to kind of make it, kind of misshapen and out of correct ratio. And so what I'm going to do instead is I'm going to click on this little lock icon up here. And now when I resize it, you'll see that it doesn't kind of, misshape the graphic at all. So I'm going to size it down, down, down until I get it to where it is going to fit on my card very nicely like that. And so you don't want to kind of have to go like all the way to the edges. You want to keep a little bit of a margin from the edges. Something like this should do just fine. Now at this point, we want to export this as a PNG so that it can work with our fiber laser etcher. And so what we're going to do is we're going to go over to our file. We're going to go to export. And that's going to open up this dialog box here. We want to make sure that this is set to PNG, and we want to set the DPI to 300. And so that's it's going to make sure that it's a really good quality. I'm going to click on this little export directory. I'm going to export it to my desktop, and I'm going to call it Zane. And again, we want to make sure that this is not an SVG, that this is a PNG. And so saving that as your first name or first name, last name will be good so that we know whose file is who. So make sure that you name it after yourself. Click Save. And then at this point, we have that file ready to go. And so I can go to the desktop. I see that I've got this file right here. And I can drag that onto the file server and wait for my name to get called to have this etched on the fiber laser. And that's it.